one more Flip Classroom Casino Night video. A few thoughts before we get started. Please understand that some people get into trouble with gambling for money, and often they end up losing way more money than they can afford to lose. Don't let that be you. This video is provided for fun purposes. My attempt is to teach you how to play some fun casino games for chips, not for money. And anyway, what's better than a fun game between friends? Let's look at bingo. Now, bingo is a popular childhood game. Chances are good that you've played this game before, racing to get a bingo, see if you can be first. You can also play a gambling version of this game, which is what I'm going to explain to you now. Now, bingo is an interesting game in that there's really no choice. It's all about luck. You do have one choice. In the very beginning, you'll be asked to pick from a set of bingo cards, and then after that, it's just luck. But it's fun, and you'll find that people really do enjoy playing bingo. So let's take a look. I've picked out 3 cards for us all already, and then what we're going to do is we're going to roll the bingo balls in the bingo ball machine. That's this little deal right here. Okay, so here is the bingo setup. We have our board here, and then we have our spinner cage here. The cage is full of balls. They're each individually marked with letters and numbers that indicate a spot on the board. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the spinner. We're going to pull out a ball from here. We're going to call it out, and then we're going to drop it into the board. And that way the board provides a record of all the numbers that have been called, so that when someone calls a bingo at the end of the game, you can verify that indeed that's correct, that they have the spots covered for the ones that you have called out. There's a free spot. Everybody gets a free. That's what's in the middle. And notice how I'm using these plastic little chip things to cover what has been called. So let's go. What's our first ball? B15. Okay, let's see who has B15. That player has B15. B13. Let's see, there's a B13. And there's a B13. B8. Here's a B8. We got one B8. I16. There's someone with I16. And here's someone with I16. We're getting going here. I30. N36. So these 3 people are playing against each other and they're racing for a bingo. The important thing is that as soon as one person gets a bingo, they have to call out bingo right away. If you have a lot of people playing, or people are playing multiple cards and there's lots of cards out there, it's very possible for 2 cards to get a bingo at the same time, in which case it's the person who calls it out first gets the bingo. N34, N33, N38, N41, I24, G49, G52, B14, I20, G60, G58, O74. So as you can see, this game kind of goes on a little bit. Generally, the fewer players you have, the longer it's going to take for somebody to get a bingo. If you've got like 20 players at your table or 20 cards out, you're probably going to get to that bingo fairly quick. O67, N42, I17, O61, G56. All 3 had that one. B7. Tension's building. So let's take a look at where we are so far. This player is 1 away from a bingo on this line. This player is 1 away from a bingo on that line. And this player is 2 away from a bingo wherever they might get it. Remember, it has to be 5 in a row. It could be diagonal, up and down, or across. N43, I21, G59, N44, N32, O66, G47, I18, N31. Bingo! So that player just got a bingo. So you call it out nice and loud. Now, here's the thing, is you want to verify. So we're going to do that step next. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have my player call out to me their bingo numbers, and if I verify that they're all on the rack here, then they do indeed have a bingo. They've got N41. We're going to go down here. There's N41. They're going to call out N31. We'll go down there. There's N31. Free N42. We're looking for N42. That's here. And N34. That's here. So I can verify that this player has a bingo. Let's talk about how we bet. It's pretty simple. Each person buys a card with $10. You could buy 2 or 3 or 4 depending on how many people are sitting at the table. Each card costs you $10. The money that you spend on the card goes into a pot in the middle of the table, and then whoever gets bingo first wins that pot. Now here's kind of interesting how that works. If everybody buys 1 card, then they're all competing on equal territory. But if I buy 2 cards, then I'm more likely to get a bingo sooner because I'm playing 2 cards. However, I risked twice as much money. So if I don't get my bingo first, I'm going to lose twice as much money. So those 2 things counteract each other. As you play and practice, and as you watch your players play, you might come up with a definitive strategy for this game. So there you have it. There's bingo. I wish you many hours with this fun game. Now that you've watched the video, take a moment to review what you learned in your mind and make sure you have a good grasp of this game. You can always watch the video again if you want to go over some of the finer points. And if you enjoyed the video, please click like or subscribe.